Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad you're here because today we're diving in to the greatest Canucks of all time. Now, this is something I do every single summer in the offseason when there's nothing else going on with this team. I do top 10 lists, and if you haven't seen them before, you got to check them out. I've done the Enforcers was my latest one. Top 10 Canuck Enforcers. Top 10 Canuck defensemen. Top 10 all-time Canucks. That was a good one too. And then a top 10 goalies and a top 10 forwards. Yes, I've done all of those. But tonight we're going to talk about the greatest Canucks. And we're going to dive into your opinion as well. You can post in the comments whether you're watching us on the video live chat, watching this later, or you're on the audio. You can still post who your top 10 is, and I am looking forward to seeing which yours are. So let's dive in to the greatest Canucks of all time, according to RevTrev. Let's go. So the big question is that people like to ask me when it comes to this: define greatest, right? And I think, for argument's sake, define it any way you want. Like, literally define it any way you want. It doesn't matter. For me, it matters. I'm specific on what I'm looking for. When I'm thinking about the greatest, I do think about everything. And this one, though, is a little harder because part of me just wants to go with my heart, and sometimes I'll go with that. Sometimes I'll go with the stats. And so yes, it's the question that everyone wants to ask: define greatest. For you, it can be different than me. I've seen people have different lists, and you know what? I might disagree, but that's okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. So it's your opinion. It's my opinion. I'm okay with that. Now, for me, the greatest of all time. And I posted this a few days ago, and I should probably bring this up, actually, now that I think of it. And you saw, if you watched the video last night, sorry, I want to remove that, and I want to get to here. This is mine. Pavel Bure, the stream with Swerve and Irvin, I believe. Did I bring this one up? Yeah, I think I brought this one up, or is the video before that I did. And this is Pavel Bure is my greatest of all time. He's the greatest Canuck of all time. And for some of you might say, well, he didn't play enough years. He didn't win a Stanley Cup. Well, no, Canuck has. So, but I would say, in order to be in my top three, let's say three, you have to have made the Stanley Cup Finals. That's part of my thing. That's part of my thing. Okay. So, and this was in the jersey numbers and line change one, that video I made. If you want to see my jersey collection, do that. Go check out that video on YouTube, Facebook, and X. And if you're on the audio, I didn't do it for the audio because I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the jerseys on audio. That doesn't make any sense. Define greatest, the greatest Canuck of all time. So Pavel Bure is my guy. He was the most electric. I think he was the most talented. I think there was no one else that, like, when we got him, a legitimate superstar. I'm talking about legitimate. To me, it changed everything for me, right? Watching a guy like this with his highlight packages, highlight real goals, with his speed, with his shot, with his tenacity. I don't think there's anyone better than Pavel. Okay. So now this is not going to shock any of you. Okay. This is not going to shock any of you. Okay. But The rest of the list might shock you, and I'm going to show you my top 10. I'm going to show you my top 10, but I'm going to start with my top 5, and I'm going to kind of give the reasonings why. So Pavel has a piece of my Canucks heart, okay? Not only is, in my opinion, the greatest to ever play and put on this Canucks uniform, but literally like special upon special, okay? Love this guy. But there's other things that he's missing that I think is important. I think it's really important to talk about. And I'm going to show you my top 5 list right now because most people will have most of these people in their top 5. But here's mine. And here it goes. My all-time Canucks, RevTrev's top 10 list, the top 5 goes like this. And number 1, Pavel Bure. Number 2, Henrik Sedin. Now, Henrik Sedin, the Twins got way too much hate. In fact, many people's list would have Henrik as the number 1 Canuck of all time. And there's a legitimate argument about that. Now, he has played has he played the most games in NHL? All positions. Let's go games played. Who's got more? It's Hendrick and then Daniel. 1,330 games. He had 1,070 points, guys. Now his brother's only got 1041. You know what I mean? Only. Those guys were dynamic together. It's hard to pick one without the other. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. How do you separate these guys? And I did. And part of it is I think Hendrick was the player that was the next level guy. I'm just saying there's something about them. They got way too much hate. I do think that you need to consider all of it. And the thing that Henrik Sedin has to me is that Hendrick won the Hart Trophy for MVP, NHL MVP. So I've got him ahead of his brother, and that is special. That is absolutely special. Okay? So I don't think it's that big of a stretch. It's just that maybe you're mad because I don't have Daniel in my top 5. So I go Bure 1. Number 2 is Henrik Sedin. Number 3 is Trevor Linden. I think he is the greatest captain we've ever had. The greatest captain we've ever had. Okay? So I was talking to my friend Braden today, and he said Linden had the biggest heart. And I agree with that. He had the biggest heart. If you think of who embodies a Vancouver Canuck, you pick one player on every team. Trevor Linden is your guy. So I have to have him in my top 3, even though he didn't score enough points. But he played a lot of games. He played for us twice. Right? So you've got to consider all of these things, right? You have to consider everything that we're thinking about here, because you're talking about Trevor stinking Linden played over 1,100 games, 1,140 games for this Vancouver Canucks. He had 773 points, 318 goals, and 730 penalty minutes. Let's go. Now, there's someone who blows those penalty minutes out of the water. That's one of the stars we're going to get into. But I'm in. I'm in on Trevor Linden. I think the top 3 for me is it's set. I don't think you can move it. But for 4th, maybe a lot of you would be surprised about Luongo being 4th for me. I just don't think that we've ever had a goaltender who's been better than Luongo. And I do think that Kirk McLean is amazing. So don't get me wrong. I got the canvas Kirk McLean and Trevor Linden poster right here behind me. Great players, okay? But when you compare the two, and Kirk McLean is amazing. Captain Kirk is amazing. I just think Luongo was even more talented. Both made it to game 7s. Both were right there. Luongo had 2 shutouts though in the finals. I think as much as Luongo got, I know it's crucified the right word. I don't think it is. Criticized maybe the right word for some of the soft goals he let in. He also made some of the craziest saves. Now, Kirk McLean has the greatest save of all time, but I think Luongo is the better player, and I got him 4th. I got him 4th, everyone. Is that nuts? Am I next level crazy? Well, if you think that's crazy, number 5 for me is Quinn Hughes. I don't think, and you're just talking about the greatest, and it's in whatever way. Guys, Quinn Hughes, nobody's ever skated like him. Will we ever have a defenseman as good as Quinn again? Now, could be if we somehow land DuPont in the draft, he's got potential. I don't think Bouillon is ever going to get to Quinn Hughes status. Quinn Hughes is top 2 in the league right now. And it's most people say Makar 1 and then Hughes 2. I would say it's probably Makar 1A and Hughes 1B. And he doesn't even play for us anymore. And I wanted to use the logo there. It's different. The black skate, the new black skate Canuck symbol. I wanted to use it there on his name there. If you're watching on audio or listening on audio, you don't know what I'm talking about. You might want to watch over on YouTube. So that's my top 5, everyone. Bure, Hendrik Sedin, Trevor Linden, Roberto Luongo. Now, again, when it comes to goaltending, for me, it's Luongo's 1A and Kirk McLean's 1B. 1B. But you'll see more. And I've got some more plans in place for this all-time Canucks list. I got some things that I want to talk about here. It's going to be fun. So stay tuned because I'm going to do some more all-time stuff this summer. So I want to dive into number 6 to 10. I think Quinn Hughes, though, I mean, are we ever gonna have a guy like Quinn? Super skilled. And there's a lot of defensemen I love. I love Jovo, right? Jovanovski is one of my favorites. I love Bieksa, but he doesn't pales in comparison to Hughes. Some people say Lume or Lidster, and they were good. Don't get me wrong. Olin, Edler. I mean, I think Edler was good. I don't think he was great. Why could be considered in I would say the top 15, it's just because he played so long here. But that doesn't mean that we should do that. That doesn't mean we should do that. Okay? So, Quinn Hughes is not my number 5. Number 6 is Todd Bertuzzi. He's got to be the greatest power forward to ever play for the Vancouver Canucks for a significant amount of time. The only one that you could kind of rival that would be Cam Neely, but he didn't play in Vancouver long enough to actually have him in that conversation. Todd Bertuzzi, I'll never forget watching him come around, come on the blue line and cutting towards the net, and a defender's on him, and he's literally holding him off with one hand, and he's got the puck on the stick with his other hand, and he's leaning in, and he gets in, and he gets a shot off, and he can score goals that way. He was rough. He was tough. He could score at will. The West Coast Express, what could you say? Those guys, and I think Bertuzzi was the driving factor. He was the different. You can have the Morrison and the Naslund, and I, as you can see here, I'm huge on Naslund. But it's Bertuzzi that made that line next level. It's Bertuzzi that did things that I'm still in shock that he did those things. You know what I'm saying? I'm just at that stage where I'm like, I am shocked at how good this guy is. You know? Now, if we go and this is where you might get into a major debate. I mean, maybe you say in the top 5, sure, in whatever order, but Bertuzzi over Daniel Sedin, that might be awful. That might be the worst take I've had in the longest time. But they're just different players. They're different players. And I do link Hendrick and Daniel together a lot. Does Daniel put up the numbers like that with a different guy? Without his brother. But we will never know. We'll never know. So I give Bertuzzi 6, number 7, Daniel Sedin. And I mean, Daniel, it was hard not to put Daniel. I probably should have put him 6. But I love Bertuzzi. I love his physicality. I love everything about him. Daniel Sedin, guys, he won the Art Ross. Hey, I want to put in what players, okay, have won the Art Ross trophy. I should put what Canuck players, okay? I think he's the only one. Let's see. 2 Vancouver Canucks players have won the Art Ross trophy, making as the only brother dual NHL scoring title in consecutive seasons. That's right. Hendrick won the Art Ross with 112 points in 2009, 2010. How do I forget that? And Daniel, next season, 2010, 2011, 104. Wow. That's impressive, guys. I might have Daniel too low. I might have Daniel too low, guys. Another guy, we're talking about, like, let's just remove this for a second. If you look at these stats right here, okay, games played, okay, and you're looking at 1,306 games played, okay, 1,041 points. He had 393 goals. Is he the highest goal scorer in Canucks history? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And that's why I have Naslund at 7, right? He's at 8. He's right behind Hendrick. We'll talk about Naslund in a second, okay? We'll talk about Naslund in a second. We're going to go back to this, if you can see this correctly. So this is absolutely stellar, amazing. You're talking about the greatest goal scorer because he played in the amount of games. Now, if we can scroll over here, shots, there's got to be the per game. Okay, goals per game. Number 1 is Pavel Bure. He scored at a 59% rate. Tony Tanti was next. Mogilny was after that. We're talking about, like, this is where is Daniel on this list? He is far, far, far down. Naslund, Pettersson, way down there. Daniel Sedin's 34th. Well, I mean, he still scored the second highest. Oh, no, the highest goals. He scored the highest goals. Overall career, I'm giving it to Daniel. That is impressive. Now, if you look at the next one, which we've already told you, Marcus Naslund is my next guy. Look at, he's the second highest goal scorer in franchise history, 346. So he's got, about 50 less than, just under 50 less than Daniel. But Marcus Naslund was spectacular. But he also played almost, 400 games less than him. That's insane. That's insane. But Naslund had that wrist shot. I still to this day, I don't know if I've seen anyone with a better wrist shot in my life. Naslund's wrist shot was unbelievable. You go to goals per game, okay? The average, you're talking Naslund is number 6. Man, Darcy Rhoda is number 4. Anson Carter, what? He's number 5? That's nuts. Pavel Bure is number 1, baby. Number 1. He's number 1 in this, and he's number 1 in our hearts. Absolutely. Number 1 in our hearts. But yeah, there's some good guys there. There's some really, really good guys. Well, let's go back to here. Okay, let's go back to here. Let's get into this. So I got Naslund at 8, best wrist shot we've ever seen. Number 10 is Stan Smeel, the steamer. Not only what he did on the ice, which he did a lot, and brings that 1982 team to the finals, and they get shellacked by the dynasty New York Islanders. Okay, we're talking about a guy who's done so much for this organization, but the stats do speak to Stan Smeel as well. He played a lot better than you think. A lot of people have never even watched Stan Smeel play. Didn't even watch him. That's crazy, right? But I think the steamer is there. And then I have number 10, Kirk McLean. You got to go with Captain Kirk. He's got the save. Game 7, round 1 against the Flames, stacked the pads. And he's a huge reason why this team made it to the finals in 94. That's my top 10, everyone. I'm gonna go back into here. I want to show you the Stan Smeel stuff. Okay, we're gonna go back just to points, and let's see where Stan Smeel's 5th. Everyone, he was born in 1958. He played in that old era, and he had 673 points. But look at his penalty minutes, 1,556. I mean, what is that all time? Gino, number 1, 2,100. Garth Butcher, almost, 20 or 16 and a half. And then it's Stan Smeel. Stan Smeel. Third in those right there. That's absolutely bonkers, if you ask me. Stan Smeel, number 5 on the all-time list. Played almost 900 games for us. Wow. He's got to be on that list, right, everyone? I mean, there's some good players on here. You're seeing players creeping up. You got Thomas Gradine. You got Elias Pettersson's going to get up there sooner than later. I mean, that's a long contract. He's going to get up. I mean, he's gonna pass Stan and Linden probably. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he scores 40 points a year, 6 more years. Maybe I don't know. Brock Besser, decent. Pavel Bure, only he played so many less games than a guy like that. Tony Tanti, Bertuzzi, JT Miller. There's these guys on there like that. They didn't play long, but they played effectively. They didn't play long, but they played effectively. So this is it. This is my list. I'd love to hear what your list is. So I'm going to dive in. I know Monty was the first one here. I'm going to get into his list, but I think they're fun. And you can be right about your list. You don't have to be. It is special. It is special to just sit here and look at this and go, let's have some fun together. All right. Going to dive into the promo. And then I'm going to get right into your questions. So glad you're here. All right, first one. Monty's in the building, says Trevor Linden, Stan Smeel, Tony Tanti, Jim Sandlack, King Richard, Dave Babich, Jurke Lumi are all my heroes of my youth. Maybe not the greatest of all time, but for some, still, but a greatest of all time for some, but still my hero. I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash with Quinn Hughes being top 5, but tell me, guys, have we ever had a defenseman like this? The answer is no. So, Swerve Irving, great having you on the show last night. Glad you're here in the comments. Kelly Duncan is here and says, in my opinion, Oleksiak and DPD can become the best duo of all time in my. Are you for real? You're trolling, are you? Aren't you trolling? Come on, Oleksiak and DPD. They both play left-handed shots defensive. They're not going to play on the same line. Okay. He says, should I order Bure's next jersey? You do whatever you want, man. But I've got my Bure jersey already. Oh, right here. I want a white one next. Okay, Adam's in the building. He says, I heard Bure left Vancouver because he got on the bad side of the Hells Angels. I don't know anything about that at all. I don't. I have no idea. Monty, number 1 for him is Trevor Linden. Number 2 is Pavel Bure. Number 3 is Marcus Naslund. Number 4 is Quinn Hughes. See, I'm not the only guy that has Quinn Hughes in the top 5, everyone. He's got him higher. Number 5 for him is King Richard. 6 and 7 is the Sedin twins. 6, 7. Okay. 8 is Luongo. 9 is Steamer. And number 10, Messier. Okay, joke. He's totally joking. Okay. Now, I'm so glad you brought that up because the amount of people, when I did that post of who's the greatest of all time, put Mark Messier down. And it's like, did he have the greatest career? Yes. Out of all the Canucks ever played, you can add Matt Sundin, you can add whoever, Cam Neely. He didn't play. He played his worst hockey as a Vancouver Canuck. I will never, ever have Mark Messier in the top 10. And if anyone does, this is the one where I say I'll disagree with you. I don't even have Mark Messier in my top 50 greatest Canucks. He made $6 million here and got 35 points. He was supposed to, when we got Mark Messier, he was going to be centering Mogilny and Bure. How do you not score 80 to 90 to 100 points? He was awful as a Vancouver Canucks, so I'm out. I'm not interested in Mark Messier. If you believe that, and I know Monty's making fun here, get out of here if you think that Mark Messier is in the top, even the top 10. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Johnny Canuck says Bure, Luongo, Linden, Hughes, and Naslund. That's your top 5. I like that list. It's awesome. Kelly says Hendrick before Daniel, before injury. Okay. I just have a Hendrick at second. Unplugged. Have you seen the Harmon video on the fall of EP40? I have not. Now, Sorvin Irvin told me about it last night. I need to go check it out. It's hard to fathom how much he has fallen. 2 to 3 years ago, he would have been arguably the most electric player after Bure. I disagree. The most electric player after Pavel. Now, I think watching Hughes, there's no doubt, guys. Like, Hughes is the man. I mean, Naslund or Pedersen, I don't know. I still just I don't know. I'm a big Naslund fan. Okay. King Richard Bure, Angelo says, Lume, Kirk McLean, Garth Butcher, and Tony Tanti. Hey, that's a solid list too. Kelly says Linden hands down is his number 1. And he says Linden save and forget about it. That's fine. I agree. Let's land on DuPont. I like that. Yeah, Landon DuPont, someone who we want, right? Let's see. What else is here? Johnny Canuck says rooting for Novotny to make it out of camp on Petey's left side. That would be great. Sorvin Irvin says Schaefer might end up being better than all of them. Yeah, he might. Are you talking about Matthew Schaefer for the Islanders? Kelly Duncan has McLean's third, hands down for him. That's cool. Hey, my friend Trevor Finstad's in the building. Naslund is his number 1. Bertuzzi's his number 2. McLean is number 3. Daniel Sedin is number 4. And Giovanni's number 5. Are the next 5... I don't know. Are the next 5 what? You got to keep typing here. C-Mac, RevTrev, larger than life when watching on the TV. Let's go. Do I look good on TV? I just want to know. McLean is better than Luongo by far. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But I like them. I have one A and one B. Johnny Canuck says no Goldobin. How come I cannot say that right? No, he's not on there. Just like his Pod Colson's not on there too. These lists need to be by era. I keep second guessing myself, right? Trevor Finstead says Caverly thinks Messier is number one. That'd be hilarious if he did. I know that he does not. Bertuzzi opened up the ice for Naslund and Morrison with his physical play. I am with you. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Unplugged says, seeing how bad the Hawks lineup looks without Bedard at the start of the season, they are the favorites for DuPont, in my opinion. That's possible. Bertuzzi was a GOAT, Shannon says. Absolutely. He was fantastic. He was one of the greatest. Martin says, EP40 doesn't want to leave Vancouver. What a loser. I didn't see that coming, man. What a loser. Everyone's disappointed. I've been telling you guys he's not leaving because he likes it here. He's got the no movement clause. He's not going anywhere, right? Ryan says, Martin, why wouldn't he want to leave? That's a good point, Ryan. It's a good point. The greatest Canucks are the who won the Stanley Cup. Oh, wait, never mind. Right, Martin? Manny coming here saying Hendrick was better in points and was more of the dominant brother. He's a playmaker and captain of the team. Daniel was a better goal scorer, 100%. That's why I have Hendrick as my number 2 and Daniel as my number 7. Maybe got Daniel a little too low, but Richard says Kirk McLean was always the most reliable goalie of all time. When we needed a win, you put him in. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Both Luongo and Kirk McLean didn't get it done. Guys, it wasn't Luongo's fault that we lost Game 7. I'll tell you that for free, right? Shannon says, I like both Daniel and Hendrick. Of course, we all do. Yeah, absolutely. Where do I have Messier and Sundin? They're not even in my top 75. Martin, I don't know. He is just wasting his career at this point, staying on a rebuilding team, just a total pawn. I hear you. Yeah, and Ryan says maybe he just wants to be part of the solution. That's fair. Shannon says Marcus Naslund was a great player and that Kirk McLean was a great goalie. Yep. Martin says by the time the team is rebuilt, his contract will be up and the Canucks will not re-sign him. Yeah, we'll probably trade him by then. I don't know. Ryan, hold up. You have Hughes ahead of Danielson. I know. I love Quinn Hughes. What am I going to say? I'm a sucker for Quinn Hughes, and you don't have to agree. And please post yours. I'd love to see your list. Please do. I would have Hughes ahead of Henrik and Daniel. Wow, that's surprising. Not me, but you can. What solution does EP40 want to be part of? Other players are looking up to him for emotional support. Ooh, Martin's a little upset tonight, everyone. Maybe he wants a rebound here, Ryan says. Well, we'll see. Tony Tanti was good. Yep, he was real good. Kirk McLean, greatest goalie. Pavel Bure, greatest Canuck player. That's what Richard says. That's fair. I don't like Hughes, but his talent is undeniable. That's what Adam says. Ryan says Daniel Sedin ahead of Hughes any day of the week. That's fair. You're welcome to believe that. The Canucks are actively trying to trade him. You think that they'll re-sign him? Probably not. Yeah, he might just walk for free, but that's after year 8. Sorvin Irvin, I would love if you did a list of the top 10 individual career seasons. Ooh, that's a good one. Might do that. Now, RevTrev, are you going to time me out if I criticize you, or are you going to give me a timeout for just asking a question? Yesterday you didn't get timed out for that. You started attacking other players, other people in the chat, and that's a no-no. So, but yeah, this is a Canucks channel. It's a good community. We want to keep it that way. So you're welcome here as long as, you can play nice with everyone. Okay. Martin, maybe $2 million a year for 5 years would be worth it. Resigning EP40 when his contract is up. Maybe. Shannon says her first hero is Trevor Linden. Monty says, I just timed you out for insulting and fighting with others in the chat. Yeah, I know. It's not rocket science here. Okay. There's no gangs in Canada. Come on, Hell's Angels. Richard, what do you mean by that? There are gangs in Canada. Absolutely there are. Prick Vetty knows. Not that he's part of a gang, even though he's got a picture of Donald Trump in his. That is boring. Prick Vetty says, but has nothing to do with Bure. That's true. Rick is in here and he says Messier is the worst. That's fair. Bure, Gradine, and Hendrik Sedin is Rick's favorite guys. I agree. Clint is like, dude, your cap is on fire. Listen, thank you so much for the encouragement. This Vancouver Canucks hat is black with a gold skate. It's shiny, right? This is the one that Bo Horvat made. They did Hasser. It was Besser, EP40, and Horvat that made these hats. When I saw this hat, I'm like, I gotta have it. Here's the thing about this hat, everyone. I have never gotten so many compliments on a hat in my life than this one right here. Everyone seems to like it, and it's one of my favorites. So it's really cool. Martin says that Bure, yes, number one. Prickfetti says, fun fact, Hell's Angels. I don't care about Hell's Angels, but interesting that they used to control 60% of Manitoba's pork production. Okay. Yeah, awesome hat. Maybe I'll rank my top 10 favorite hats one day. I've got so many. Sensei Dean says Bure's is number one. Linden, Hendrik Sedin, Bertuzzi, Naslin, Hughes. See, Hughes is up there above Daniel Sedin. And then it goes Tony Tanti, Daniel Sedin, Stan Smeal, Luongo, McGill. What? This is not a top 10 list. This is a top 15 list. Sensei Dean. Super Delicious Taco says, have you seen reports EP40 is not willing? Yes, I have. Not wanting to move to places Canucks are trying to send him. I mean, I knew that wasn't. Winning isn't a priority for him. He's happy to be in Vancouver. Still got Bure photo of a photo with him. You guys got it in Fogg and Sons in 1990s. That's cool. It's cool. Yeah, EP40 doesn't care about winning, Martin says. He has his paycheck. He's going to float around here for the rest of his contract. Richard says McLean, Luongo, Bure, Linden, Sedins, Naslin, Bertuzzi, my favorites. Yeah, we need to show some love for Matthias Ohlund. I forgot to talk about him, but he is underrated, but he is one of our great defensemen. I bet if he got booed off the ice by fans and benched, EP40 still wouldn't leave. People have not been happy. Monty, McLean versus Lou is apples and oranges. I agree. Different generations of goaltending style. I agree. Shannon's got Linden 1, Luongo 2, Naslin 3, Hughes 4, Bure 5, Daniel Sedin 6, 7, Hendrick. Wow. Number 8, Stan Smeal. Whew. RevTrev PD will prove you wrong. Ryan, people have been telling me that for 3 years. I have been saying, please prove me wrong. Please, Petey, bounce back, do something. I'm done, though. I don't see it, everyone. If you're doing a top toning, where does Burrows, Kessler, and Bieksa go? I would have probably 2 of those 3 in the top 20. One of those guys would not be in my top 20. Richard says they needed to score in a game 7. You can never blame a goalie. That it's the whole team that didn't get it done. I agree. Shannon thinks that Petey's going to be good this year and he's going to bounce back. That sounds good. I like it. Hope so. C-Mac can't really pick players, but as far as lines go, Twins and Burrows followed by West Coast Express. Those are pretty good lines for sure. Jay Wood is here. PD doesn't want to leave because he's going to come to camp in the greatest shape of his life and surprise anyone. I hope you're right, but I'll believe it when I see it on that one. Pensive PD, so expensive PD, going to float for another season until the Canucks offer him a nice retirement team in a warm, non-hockey climate. Prickvetti says PD only got 102 points because of JT Miller and Quinn Hughes, in my opinion. That's a hot take right there. Oh, that might be true. He will never be a 100-point player again without support, Prickvetti says. Wow. Coach Rob is back. Good to see you. And I look good on the TV, and oh, that's great, man. That's great. Thanks for letting me know. EP40 literally got named as the #1 worst NHL contract signed this decade. Ouch. Headspace Hockey's in the building. Good to see you. I'm going to scroll down a bit. Coach Rob says, for me, it would be Linden at #1. I get it. I get it. He's in my top 3. He's arguably in that range. CMAP said, would love to see your all-time Canucks lines. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's probably going to be my next one. That'll be fun. Richard, I was talking about Bure being involved with the Hells Angels. It's about management. That's why he left. They didn't respect their greatest player. Okay. I don't know why I don't want to talk about the Hells Angels on my channel. But the individual offensive skill was off the charts. I agree. He faded down the stretch, but PD's offensive skill was good. Yep, it was. Prickvetti says, I think PD and Liney are similar players. They both need strong setup men to excel. I agree. Can you imagine? You think they could be good together? Probably not, eh? Martin says, Matthias Oland literally gave his nuts for... No, that was Sammy Salo. Sammy Salo did. Sammy Salo literally lost one of his nuts playing for the Canucks. So... Fabled Heroes in the building. Sensei Dean said, loved Ronning and Tiger Williams. Absolutely. Love those guys. I'd like to comment about never blaming goalies. You can absolutely blame Stuart Skinner. For sure. Different. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wonder why, Liney's Swervin Irvin says, why his offense fell off. That's a good question. Super Delicious Taco says Liney was a goofball. That's why he fell off. Oh, wait, it was injuries mostly. Okay, could be both. Ryan says his list is Bure, Linden, Naslund, Hendrick, Daniel. Wow, you have those guys low. You're criticizing me for having Hughes over Daniel. And you have Hendrick and Daniel? 4 and 5? Oh, man. Interesting. Oland, Luongo, Juice. You have Juice in the top 10. Interesting. Edler, I get it. He's played the most. Hughes after those guys? You have Hughes after Juice and Edler and Oland? Wow. We definitely don't see eye to eye on that one, and that's okay. Sammy Salo Cannon. Yeah, he had an awesome shot. No Kessler, no Strico. Jeremy's in the building. Good evening, gang. Where's Matt Sundin on this list? Yes, you bought his jersey, Canucks jersey. He's not on my top 75. Patrick Sundstrom, not in my top 20. Good player. Not Igor Larionov. Nope. Sorvin. Prickvetti says, I think he had a death in the family and is addicted to Fortnite. There's a conspiracy that he was banned from Fortnite for a week and he got 5 goals in 1 week. Are you talking about Liney? That's awesome. Martin, you're wrong about who got hit in the nuts. That was Sammy Salo. So now he's your number 2. Some people call him Sammy Solo. I call him One Nut. Shannon says, I miss Lanny McDonald's from the Flames. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I liked his mustache. You give your nuts for a team, Martin says. You're in the top 10 automatically. Richard said, I just saw 100% Canucks did an awesome interview with Stan Smeel. Everyone check it out. That's cool. Ryan doesn't like Quinn Hughes. What gave it away? His attitude sucks. If you, I'm sorry, I've just got to push back on this. If you think that Quinn Hughes' attitude sucks, you must hate. I shouldn't say hate. It's too strong word. You must dislike EP40. His demeanor is terrible. His attitude's terrible. Oh, Ryan, you can't have your cake and eat it too, brother. Can't be all pro Petey and not. I wish we had Quinn Hughes still, or is he coming back? No, he's not coming back. Wouldn't that be fun? CMAP says EP40 will be coming to camp in shape. Lucky for him, round his shape. Matt Cook's not on my top 20. No, Servant Irvin, he's not. No. Fabled Hero. Where does Mark Messier rank on my list? He's not in my top 25, or not set top 75. He's not in my top 75 greatest Canucks. I'll tell you that. He's in my top players I did not like that played in Vancouver. Coach Rob really says he won't be back unless he comes back as a free agent for years from now. That would be Quinn Hughes. Headspace Hockey says 5 to 9 need to be reallocated. Daniel, Sedin, Nazi, and Steamer over Hughes and Burt for sure. That's fine. You're welcome to have that opinion. You're welcome to have that opinion. I agree with Perkfetti. Messier is a good Lays actor. That's it. Not sure any top 10 list though for the Canucks. But if we're talking about top 10 players all time, maybe Messier can make that. I don't know. I doubt it, but maybe he can. He's got a lot of cups. I think he's like 5 cups, everyone. Yeah, I wish we still had Quinn Hughes, but the rebuild's on, Shannon. Super Delicious Taco. Does current Canuck Hronik make your top 50? Absolutely not. Nope. Well, maybe he would make top 50. Would he make 50? 45 to 50? Maybe. Monty says, I quit buying Lay's chips after Messier commercials. Shen is back. Maybe Hughes will come back. Brick Betty says, I don't blame you for not buying Lay's chips. Ryan says, listen here, RevTrev, I've criticized PD left, right, and center, but I still believe in the player. Like, what's your issue with that? My issue is if you don't like Quinn Hughes because of his attitude, you can't like Pedersen. That's my point. Yeah, no Horvat on my top 10. Nope, not at all. Listen here, Trev. EP40 sucks. I know. I'm not a fan. You're bugging. I'm frustrated by him. Anybody in the NHL is skilled, but he's just not elite, in my opinion. I hear you. Shannon misses Bo Horvath too. Kurtenbach was late in his career, but great. Yeah, Nicholas. I mean, I don't know if that's like a little bit of an excuse one, but so. Oh, yes, I know. Everyone says that I hate Petey. I'll tell you what I hate. I hate his point production when he signed that contract. I hate that. I don't like his demeanor. I don't like that he showed up to camp not ready. This is what made his teammates mad at him. I don't like any of those things. And if you guys like that, come on, there's nobody's got to like that, right? Not a fan. Who are your top 10 Canucks at hip-hop dancing? I have no idea. Jack says, my issue is I don't believe in PD. RevTrev knows. I call it like I see it. Used to be a fan, not anymore. That's fair. I blame one player. Nope. But it doesn't matter all the other things. We're talking 45 points, 11.6 million. That's not good enough. So, Shannon, I'm with you. I miss Zadorov a lot. Messier, Sundin, EP40, top 3 most disappointing Canucks. I think there's an argument to be made of that for sure. Monty says that. Bulliam and Novotny will make us forget Hughes. Plus, he may not even sign in Minnesota. He might not sign, Fabled. He might not sign. Got to do another EP40 bashing video, Trev. Clickbait. Oh, man. How many have I made? Yep, it's a team game, and he failed the team. You're right, Ryan. He failed the team. Oh, that's what I say about it. Every jersey I buy, the player has bad luck 1 week after. Nobody hates Petey. He just needs to go yesterday. Well, if we loved him and we believed in him, why wouldn't we want to keep him? Perfetti says, I forgot Sundin was a Canuck. He obviously wasn't that memorable, right? One of my faves, Nicholas says, Duncan Wilson played goal, was vicious with his stick work, could fight anyone, and was a WLA scrapper, toughest goalie we've ever had. I don't even know who that is. Sorviner says, guess what, everyone? Calgary drafted a Ginla's son with the pick we traded for Zadorov. Brutal. Jack says, I hate all the garbage excuses for EP40. Enough is enough. I agree. It's not Tage Iginla. It's not him. It's the other one. Sports Muppets, is this fair? Pedersen, 545 games, 508 points is not bad. Could be better. I agree. Okay, so now let's just turn it into the talking about Pedersen, and I hear you. CMAP says, where does Bo rank? Don Lever, Kurtenbach. I have Bo in my top 20, but I haven't done an exhaustive list for any of these guys. So, Ryan says the team has failed EP42. Sure, I guess. Most vets will be traded out at some point due to not fitting in with the current core. That's fair. But they all have no movement clauses, so it might be harder than you think. Jack says it's a team game. Okay, we're getting into EP40 stuff still. Literally one of the 2 players who screwed up the locker room, not even talking about his horrible play. Enough is enough. Oof, okay, we're getting into the... All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Calling it a night. I need to go to bed anyways. 10:26 p.m. on a Thursday night. Thank you so much for being here. Check out my other videos, all my top 10s. I've got a top 10 playlist on YouTube that you can check out. And I've done a whole bunch of cool videos lately. I've had the one from last night with Swerve and Irvin. We talked about the rebuild killer. We talked about the other one. I had Brandon Astle on, who is the Canucks or the Abbotsford Canucks play-by-play broadcaster. That was an awesome episode. What else did I talk about recently? I talked about jersey numbers that changed on 4 of our players, and talking about the jersey collection. There's been a lot of content lately, everyone. It's the off season. We're still going strong. Thank you so much for showing up here tonight, and I'm going to call it a night. Have a fantastic evening, and of course, always believe in blue. Let's embrace this rebuild and enjoy it. It's going to be a ride. And of course, always, go Canucks. Go!